Let's take a closer look at Sabine's colourful TIE Fighter from the Micro Galaxy Squadron line.
Villa Varykino, living the Star Wars life.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Villa Varykino YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be taking a closer look and unboxing Sabine Wren's TIE Fighter from the Micro Galaxy Squadron line by Jazwares. This is a really fun and colourful variation of a standard TIE Fighter from the original trilogy era, as seen in the animated series Rebels. This is a chase variant from Wave 2 of the Micro Galaxy Squadron line. As you can see with this fabulous gold sticker, it is a chase of 1 out of 5,000. So there's only 5,000 of these, and I was very, very fortunate to actually find this one hanging on the store shelves locally at my favorite go-to store. I absolutely couldn't believe it. I wasn't even sure that we would get this one in New Zealand, and if we did, I would probably never see it. And to be honest, I kind of shrieked when I saw it. It was so bright and colorful, it drew my eye straight away, and I really couldn't imagine that I had found one. So I was able to snag this for retail. I know it is certainly a sought after vehicle, certainly very popular on the secondary market if you are unable to find one locally. So I'm very excited that I was able to find this one at my local store, because to be honest, it was one of my top picks from Wave 2 that I really wanted to add to my collection. And of course it has the added bonus of being a female character. This is the first time Sabine has sort of appeared in this line, so I'm very keen to have a look at her little figure there and how she goes with the whole TIE Fighter vehicle. So before I unbox and take a closer look at the vehicle, I'm just going to take a look at the packaging. I am going to keep the packaging with the plastic bubble and the chase sticker. Of course, I want to sort of preserve that, but I will be opening it up. So I just want to take a closer look at this before we open it all up and sort of render it unclosable again. So we have that fun silver foil stripe at the bottom that says Sabine Wren's TIE Fighter, and this is number 0036 there, and the Jazwares logo. So we have just a little cardboard insert showing that the figure can fit in the opening cockpit, and the figure there. So of course we've got this big plastic bubble where the colourful TIE Fighter is seen through the front, a clear window at the side, just the standard copyright sort of stuff here at the bottom, and we've got sort of this fun blueprint graphic on the back. This is very similar to other TIE Fighter vehicles in the line, with the exception being these little sort of insert images here where we can see that the TIE Fighter depicted is Sabine's with that bright orange paint. It sort of shows some of the features of the vehicle. We've got the cutout card if you want to sort of collect up these sort of cutout cards. Reminds me of some of the very older sort of vintage era sort of things, you know, where it encouraged kids to cut up their backing cards for better or for worse, depending on your opinion. And then we have some of the other vehicles from the line: Battle Damaged TIE, Yoda's Starfighter, and Hera's A-Wing. So that's very cool. And it notes, you know, this one is also a chase vehicle. And just another window there. We can see down the side that this is from Series 2, and we can get a glimpse of the cool sort of backing card art there behind the vehicle. A lot of the vehicles have these cool sort of exciting space battles and artwork depicting some of the vehicles from the line. So I'm very keen to sort of get a look at that closer up as well. So I guess that is everything here. I'll just show the sort of assortment number here at the bottom. For anyone that's sort of keeping track of these numbers, that is the one for this particular version. I love that gold foil. It always feels special finding a chase. Have you ever found a chase from this line at your local store? Let me know in the comments down below. So I guess that is it for the packaging. So without further ado, let's open it up and take a closer look at the vehicle in hand. Okay, so now I've removed the sort of front bubble from the backing card so we can take a closer look. Before I go any further, I just want to take a closer look at the fabulous backing card art here. It is, of course, an A-Wing, which is kind of fun, being chased by some TIE fighters. I think that they do this sort of particular art so that they can use multiple sort of different vehicles in the same art, so they can use it on different vehicle packaging. But I think that that's really quite fun, and one of the reasons why I like to keep these backing cards rather than cutting out that collectible card there on the back, because you're gonna scissor right through this fabulous art. But yeah, so now I can get in and pull the vehicle out. Oh, and down the bottom we can see the cardboard underneath has some sort of more prequel era art of some sort of droid fighters there and a Jedi Starfighter down there in the corner. That's really quite neat. I appreciate the effort. This could just as easily be plain cardboard or white or anything like that, and we can see that that is just the front insert. So even if you don't keep all the packaging, that's still a fun little bonus there. So I'm going to pop that back in, fold that up, and that can just sit there in the back there for a minute so that I can get into the main event. And isn't this lovely and colourful? So I'm going to take the little sort of plastic sort of little suitcase there of the figure out. This is a little sticker, so that won't go anywhere. So let's see how hard this is to take out. Okay, nice and easy. That just popped out. Some of the vehicles from this line are really cemented into that plastic. It's quite the crunchy sound effects to remove that, but all very good. No stress on the plastic to remove that. So now I'm getting a closer look at this fabulous TIE Fighter, and just look at that striking paint job. Honestly, this is so cool. That orange and yellow just really pops with the black and pale grey here of the wings. That is just the coolest. Such a shame that Hasbro hasn't really done much with this fabulous paint scheme, though I dare say there have been quite a few fabulous fan artists that have gone and sort of customized some vehicles out there to give them this fabulous Sabine paint job. Isn't that really cool? So let's have a look at the few of the features with this one. It says that the wings will pop off, and this is always the sort of nerve-wracking thing where you go and try and sort of open up pieces on a vehicle, because you always worry that you might do something that's not really supposed to do. Okay, so just a little bit of a hook there to get into the cockpit there. Not too hard. We can see in there. Hopefully this color will show up on camera. There is a little yellow seat and little yellow cockpit sort of in there. It's a little hard to show because it's all the way down in there, but I can see the little blue translucent window here in the front. Sorry, it's trying to focus on this tiny little cockpit section there. But there is a little yellow seat for the vehicle, and interior is grey and yellow with this sort of translucent window. I get the feeling that when we put a vehicle in here, you're not really going to see them through that window. It almost looks black on camera. It is just translucent, and probably close up in person I will be able to see that yes, there is a vehicle, the character in the vehicle once I pop it in, but that's not really going to be in the case in this video. You can see that the lid is also sort of clear plastic. You can just see through these stripes here, so you can kind of look down, but again, very small details. You're not really going to see much. So I'm just going to sort of pop that into place, and we'll have a look here at the back. So we can see there is, okay, this is like a button. I can press it down, this yellow bit. I'm wondering if this is how pop wings off or something. I'm not sure, or maybe that's just to lift the figure up. Yeah, there's a button here, so I can press that in. Nothing moves especially, so I'm wondering how I get these wings off. I'm really worried about just yanking them off or putting tension on them, because I can't replace this one. So let me have a little look. I don't really know if I want to be particularly rough with this. I'm just going to have a quick little look on the back of the packaging, because it does show that the wings pop off, just so I'm not crazy. You can see there, and the back engine kind of levers down as well. So there's a few things to move and do here. So let's just see if I can do this without being too rough. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, I'll try the back engine here. Okay, that was pretty easy. It's not clipped in, it's just kind of sitting there. So we can get like this little lever action there. It's just got a simple hinge. And that is just flat plastic that doesn't have a window or anything like that. So we can sort of see that back panel there. Not really sure that that adds a lot of detail that you would necessarily play with to the vehicle, but it's there. It's a fun little accessory there. So now about these, okay, maybe if I twist them. I don't want to break a peg, but okay. You just wiggle them? Okay. So they're on there quite snug, but I can wiggle them off, and I don't want to necessarily put them on upside down or something. We can see that there is the copyright information here in very, very tiny text. Copyright in TM Lucasfilm Limited, copyright 2022 Jazwares, made in China. So that's what's printed there. And that kind of hides away there. So it's just a sort of simple peg. It looks like there is a flat line, so I think that's to help you not put them on upside down. So yeah, pretty snug. Let's see, just slide on. Okay, so they do just slide on with tension. That one is really on there though. Okay, a little bit of wiggling and I can take that one off. Again, I'm not really sure that you necessarily need to do that. It's probably possibly just more for the sake of assembly line, you know, getting all the paint job on the inside without having to sort of get around just the nature of how they would put these together. But yeah, if you want to do something like a crashed TIE Fighter, or possibly do some customizing or swap wings around between the different vehicles in this line, I guess you can do that, but I don't really want to mess with this. I want to keep them together. So looking at the paint job, it looks like pretty much mirrored with this sort of black section here, 2 lines there, again on this side black and 2 lines. Now I'd have to take a closer look at some screenshots from Rebels to see just how closely this resembles the paint job as seen in the show, but you know, to my eyes this is just bright and fun and really cool, especially these sort of black checkerboards on these points here. I think that that is really quite cool. So very, very distinctive. It really marks it as Rebels, and the bright colors really make me think of the colors of that show. You know, Sabine herself always wears brightly colored armor that she customizes. I think that this is really cool. I'm so excited that they did this in the line and this early. To be honest, I thought we were going to get a lot of original trilogy and perhaps some prequel and sequel vehicles, but to be honest, I wasn't really expecting animated to show up so early on the line. We're only on wave 2, so very, very excited to have this one in hand. I hope that we see more from Rebels. You know, the Ghost would be fabulous. You know, we don't really have too many collectible versions of that vehicle, but considering that the Micro Galaxy Squadron line contains the Millennium Falcon and Slave One, I would hope to see something like the Ghost show up in this line as well. You know, and to scale with everything else would just be fabulous. So hope this video is showing off all the fabulous details of this, and whether it, you know, seeing it out of the packaging means that it's on your wish list, or whether you think that no, you can live without it, you prefer the classic TIE Fighters. I think that that's really quite fun. So I'm just going to take a look now at the little Sabine figure and pop her in the cockpit. So I like these little plastic containers. It means that I don't accidentally lose them, but I generally do keep my figures in the cockpits rather than standing next to it. I'm always worried I'm going to knock them off a bookshelf. So we've got a little kind of little blueprint of her on the back. So let's open her up, take a closer look. Pop those there in the back. These figures are so small, but they are so cute, aren't they? So we have here in we've got sort of a dark pink helmet and chest plate, a standard little orange shoulder bell there, silver on the side, and just a few sort of paint apps on her pants. I'll just see if I can get the camera to focus on this tiny little figure. She is very, very cute. I appreciate all the details. There's even a little bit of paint on the visor there to sort of mark it separately to the rest of her. Sorry, there's a bit of cat fluff on there. and even like a little belt buckle. Some of the characters in this vehicle line look like there was just sort of one brush stroke of paint across her. She's actually fairly detailed. You know, these little pink armor plates on her knees and her boots. I think that's really quite cool. There's a lot of little sections here. This isn't just sort of a two-color one and done type figure. Very, very cute. She should be articulated like other figures in the line. The arms sort of feel like they are connected, so they just raise up and down together, and again at the hips, so you can get them into a pilot-y sort of position there. No articulation at the knees. I think that they would start to be getting into dangerous territory, something I would be a lot more prone to break. So let's see how hard it is to get her into her TIE Fighter. So there doesn't seem to be too much of a catch or anything. It is just getting your finger under that, which is good. I'm always worried about these tiny little pieces that I'm going to sort of break them trying to undo the catch. So she just kind of sits in there. She'll rattle around a little bit, but she fits in there pretty neatly with her hands up, and I can close the cockpit. So as I said, even under this lighting, I really struggle to see that there is anything in there. If I shake it, I'll probably hear her rattling around, but I'm just going to leave her in there for safekeeping. She belongs in her amazing TIE Fighter. So yeah, I'm super excited with this vehicle. It's just going to look so striking on my line. And honestly, I need more Rebels collectibles for my bookshelf. It's such a fabulous show. I really enjoyed it, so very excited. I know I say that a lot, but honestly, I really, really wanted this chase, and I didn't think I would ever be here holding it. The prices I have seen on eBay in the secondary market are not surprising, but a little outside of what I would be able to pay to get my hands on a collectible of this scale. So I'm very happy that I was able to get it at retail in New Zealand, you know, not even postage. So exciting. It looks just absolutely the coolest with those colors. And I've said in some of my other Micro Galaxy Squadron line, I do wish one thing was that even for the vehicles that can sit on the ground, I do wish they came with some sort of base to give you the option of sort of posing them like they're at least flying or at least hovering or something like that. TIE Fighters, of course, do fit very well just sitting here like this. We see them sort of depicted sort of landing very close to the ground or on the ground in a few different mediums. You know, usually they're in hangars or something like that, so it's not completely out of the question to have them here, and it's not completely, you know, an in-world scenario. This is a very, very specific TIE Fighter, but yeah, a stand would be nice, but that's not a deal breaker for this collectible. I still love it. I think it's fabulous. And I hope you enjoyed my sort of very excited review of this. I just love how bold those colors are. Very, very Sabine inspired. That's fabulous. So I'll have more photos on the blog, so if you want to see really close-up details better than I can show you on video. So I'll have the blog with all the photos linked below. And if you're keen to see other TIE Fighters from this line and see how this compares with others, very, very soon I'm going to have a big video comparing 4 of the original trilogy era TIE Fighters from the Micro Galaxy Squadron line, including one of the other chase variants. So if you are interested in a comparison video, please subscribe so you get a notification for when that video goes live very shortly. And check out some of our other videos where we review Star Wars collectibles, including ones from this line, and just generally share our love of Star Wars. So we'd love you to subscribe and join in the fun. And so that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you in the next one, and may the Force be with you.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, check out our other videos, and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.